The sea holds its secrets close. It breathes them into the fog and hides them beneath the waves. One of these secrets is a ship, a vessel known as the Sea Serpent. She was a proud schooner, built from the finest oak and iron. Her sails were once white as clouds, catching the winds of the Atlantic. But her story ends not with the final port, but with a lingering silence. In the year 1888, she sailed into the calm, unnerving waters of the Sargasso Sea. It is a place of myths, a graveyard of ships trapped by endless seaweed. Here, the sea serpent vanished from all maps and memory. She simply ceased to be. For over a century, the ship became a whisper on the salty air of Bermuda. Old sailors would speak of her in hushed tones. They told tales of a vessel that sailed into the misty heart of the ocean and never returned. Some said a great storm had swallowed her whole, leaving no trace. Others believed she was cursed, doomed to drift forever in that strange, windless sea. The ship became a phantom, a story told to frighten young mariners. It was a reminder that the ocean does not always give back what it takes. The Sea Serpent was a legend, a ghost ship locked away in the warm, mysterious waters of the Bermuda Triangle. Her disappearance was absolute. No wreckage was ever found, no lifeboats washed ashore. It was as if the ship had sailed through a tear in reality itself, leaving our world behind. The families of the crew waited on the docks of Hamilton, their hope slowly turning to grief. The ship's owners wrote her off as lost, a casualty of the deep. The tale of the Sea Serpent was written into the folklore of the islands, a somber note in the symphony of the sea. She was gone, a memory preserved only in stories and the sorrowful quiet of the endless ocean. A ship lost to the world, drifting into legend. But legends have a way of resurfacing. They sleep in the deep, waiting for the right moment to awaken. The story of the Sea Serpent was not over. It had merely paused. For 138 years, the ship was a ghost, a spectre of the warm Caribbean currents. It was a tale of loss, a puzzle with no solution. The world moved on, with new ships and new technologies. The age of sail faded into history. Yet the ocean remembers. It carries stories across vast distances through time and tide. The Sea Serpent was not destroyed. She was on a journey. An impossible journey that no one could have ever imagined. If you're fascinated by lost legends and mysterious journeys, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Join us as we uncover more secrets from the depths of history and the sea. Your support helps us bring these incredible stories to life. The history of the Sea Serpent is tied to its captain, a man named Elias Thorne. He was a seasoned sailor with eyes the colour of the deep sea. Captain Thorne knew the Atlantic like the back of his hand. He had sailed through hurricanes and navigated treacherous reefs. His final voyage was meant to be a simple one, transporting fine textiles and rum from Jamaica to the ports of England. But Thorne was a man haunted by dreams. He spoke of a silent passage, a route through the ocean that defied all maps. His crew often heard him muttering about currents that flowed not with the wind, but with the pull of the earth itself. Rumours followed Captain Thorne like his own shadow. Some said he was searching for something more than just a quick route. He was obsessed with the ancient tales of the sea, stories of hidden lands and forgotten pathways. His personal logs, recovered before his final voyage, were filled with strange drawings. They showed currents swirling in impossible patterns, leading far from any known shipping lane. On that fateful day in 1888, as the Sea Serpent left Bermuda, the crew was uneasy. The sky was clear, the wind was fair, but the captain's gaze was fixed on a distant, empty horizon. He was steering them toward the Sargasso Sea, a place sailors wisely avoided. The ship was abandoned, but not in the way one might think. There was no mutiny, no great struggle. The legend says Thorne gathered his crew on the deck. He told them he had found his silent passage. He explained that the ship must travel alone, guided by forces they could not understand. He gave his crew the lifeboats and enough supplies to reach the nearest shore. He promised them that the Sea Serpent had a different destiny. With a heavy heart, the crew left their captain and their ship behind, watching as it floated deeper into the eerie calm of the Sargasso. They were the last to see her. Their testimony was met with disbelief. Authorities dismissed their story as a fabrication, a cover for some unknown crime. But the sailors never changed their tale. They spoke of a captain who had willingly given his ship to the sea. He had chosen to remain, a solitary figure on the deck of a vessel bound for nowhere. And so the Sea Serpent was left to drift. A ship without a crew, a captain without a port. She was a vessel given over to the great mysterious currents of the world. Her journey had not ended. It had just begun in the lonely, silent heart of the ocean. Fast forward to our present time, to the year 2026, a world away from the warm waters of Bermuda. Here in Antarctica, the land is a kingdom of ice. It is the coldest, driest and most unforgiving continent on Earth. A team of scientists from the Halley Research Station was surveying a remote stretch of the coastline. They were charting the movement of ice shelves, a routine but vital task. The weather was turning, and a thick, ethereal mist rolled in from the sea. It clung to the icebergs, muffling all sound. The world was reduced to shades of white and grey. It was a place where silence has weight. Through the shifting fog, one of the researchers saw something impossible. A dark shape against the stark white of an iceberg. It was a silhouette that did not belong. Not a rock, not a trick of the light. It was the unmistakable form of a wooden ship. An old sailing vessel, its masts broken and jagged like skeletal fingers. The ship was encased in blue ice, held in the frozen grip of a colossal iceberg. It was as if a piece of history had been flash-frozen, preserved in a crystal tomb. The team stared in stunned silence. Their modern equipment and scientific certainty felt small in the face of this ancient mystery. The shock quickly gave way to a profound sense of awe. This was not a modern vessel. Its design was from another era, from the age of sail. The wood was dark and weathered, scarred by a long and arduous journey. How could a ship like this be here, in the most remote place on the planet? It was a ghost from another time, another world. The researchers approached cautiously, the crunch of their boots on the snow the only sound. The air was so cold it burned their lungs. The ship seemed to emanate a coldness that was deeper than the ice around it. It was the cold of immense time and impossible distance. As they drew closer, they could see the nameplate on the stern, barely legible beneath a layer of frost. With a gloved hand, one scientist wiped the ice away. The letters were faint, but undeniable. Sea serpent. The name hung in the frigid air, a whisper from a forgotten legend. The ghost ship of Bermuda, lost for over a century, had been found. It was found not in the warm Sargasso, but at the very bottom of the world. The discovery sent ripples of disbelief through the scientific community. A puzzle that defied all logic, all oceanography, all reason. The legend was real, and it was here, locked in the Antarctic ice. How did it get here? This is the question that echoes in the mind of every oceanographer, every historian, every person who hears this story. The journey from the warm Sargasso Sea to the frozen coast of Antarctica is not just improbable. It is impossible by our known understanding of ocean currents. The sea serpent would have had to travel over 10,000 miles. It would have had to navigate against prevailing currents through some of the most violent seas on Earth. The ship, with its tattered sails and no crew, should have been torn apart by the first major storm. It should have been crushed by the waves of the Southern Ocean. We can only imagine its long, lonely voyage. Picture the ship drifting south, a solitary spectre on an endless expanse of blue. It moved not with the wind, but with something deeper. A hidden current, perhaps the very silent passage that Captain Thorne had sought. It would have endured the furious storms of the Drake Passage, where waves can rise to the height of mountains. Ice would have begun to form on its deck, a slow, creeping frost. The warm, familiar stars of the northern sky would have disappeared, replaced by the alien constellations of the south. The ship sailed on, a silent pilgrim on an unending quest. The journey would have been one of profound isolation. For decades, the sea serpent saw no other ships, no sign of human life. It was accompanied only by the creatures of the deep. Albatrosses, with their enormous wingspans, may have circled its broken masts. Great whales may have breached beside its hull, ancient eyes gazing at the strange wooden wanderer. The ship became a part of the natural world, an unnatural island of wood and iron moving through the wild ocean. It was a testament to the resilience of its own construction and to the mysterious force that guided it. Eventually, it reached the freezing waters of the Antarctic Circle. Here, the sea itself begins to turn to ice. The ship would have navigated through a maze of growing ice floes. The cold would have become absolute, preserving the wood while making it brittle. The final stage of its journey saw it caught in the inexorable advance of an ice shelf. It was lifted from the water, encased in layers of snow and ice over many long, dark winters. Frozen in time, it became one with the continent of ice. Its impossible pilgrimage was over. It had reached its final frozen shore. The discovery of the sea serpent is more than just a maritime curiosity. It is a moment that forces us to question our understanding of the world. Scientists are now studying the ship, or what can be accessed of it. Core samples of the ice around it tell a story of the passing decades. They show layers of volcanic ash from eruptions that happened long after the ship was lost. They reveal shifts in climate, a diary written in ice. The ship itself is a time capsule. Inside its frozen hull, what secrets might be waiting? What clues to its impossible journey are locked away in the captain's cabin? The emotional impact on those who stand before it is immense. It is a humbling experience. To look upon this vessel is to feel the vastness of time. One researcher described it as standing in the presence of a god. There is a sense of reverence, of being a small part of a much larger, much older story. The ship feels alive, despite being frozen solid. It seems to watch them, a silent observer from the past. The cracking of the iceberg sounds like a deep sigh. The wind whistling through its broken rigging sounds like a mournful song. It is a place of powerful, raw emotion. This discovery connects two opposite ends of the Earth: the humid, vibrant mystery of the Bermuda Triangle and the stark, frozen mystery of Antarctica. It is a bridge across worlds. How could a vessel from a place of warmth and myth end up in a land of cold, hard fact? It challenges the neat lines we draw on our maps, the predictable models we create for our oceans. It suggests that there are forces at play we do not yet comprehend. The sea serpent is not just a lost ship, it is a messenger from the deep, carrying a truth we are not yet ready to understand. The story forces us to look at our planet with new eyes. It reminds us that for all our technology, for all our knowledge, the Earth remains a place of profound mystery. There are still legends to be found. There are still impossible journeys happening, unseen by human eyes. The natural world operates on a scale of time and power that dwarfs our own existence. The sea serpent is a monument to this power. It is an echo from the past, resonating in the frozen silence of the present, and whispering of the great, beautiful unknowns that still surround us. We may never know the full story of the sea serpent. Perhaps we are not meant to. Some mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, but stories to be wondered at. To give a simple explanation for its journey would be to diminish its power. To say it was a freak current or a statistical anomaly would be to ignore the magic of the tale. The ship's legacy lies not in answers, but in the questions it inspires. It invites us to imagine, to dream, to look at the vast ocean and feel a sense of awe rather than a need for conquest. Its purpose is to keep the mystery alive. The ship will likely remain where it is. To move it would be to destroy it. It has become a part of Antarctica, a permanent feature of the landscape. It will continue its slow journey, locked in the iceberg as it drifts toward the sea. One day, many years from now, the iceberg may break apart, and the sea serpent may be released back into the ocean. Or it may remain frozen for 1,000 more years, a silent testament to its incredible voyage. Its final fate is, once again, in the hands of the sea. It is a story that began with the ocean, and it is a story that will end with the ocean. The tale of the sea serpent teaches us a profound respect for the forgotten corners of our world. It speaks of the power of nature, the endurance of history, and the persistence of legends. It reminds us that the past is not dead. It is all around us, whispering its truths in the wind, in the waves, and in the silent drift of a ghost ship. The ship's journey was not one of miles, but of myth. It travelled from one legend, the Bermuda Triangle, to another, the desolate and majestic continent of Antarctica. It is a bridge between the stories we tell and the truths we have yet to discover. So let the mystery linger. Let us not rush to explain it away. Instead, let us stand in respectful silence. Let us imagine the lonely ship on its long voyage through storm and calm, through darkness and light. Let us think of Captain Thorn, who put his faith in the sea. The sea serpent is more than an old ship made of wood and nails. It is a symbol of the enduring power of the unknown and of the beautiful, haunting secrets that our planet will always hold. Its story will be told for generations, not as a solved riddle, but as a timeless legend of the sea.